Podcast Evolved, your home for Halo. I am your host, Krysta, and with me today is David.
Hello, everybody.
And Aaron.
Hi, guys.
And we are live on Discord. Yay!
Live noises.
Wow, hype. Can you add, cheering? Can you add a cheering sound effect?
Sure.
Oh, it's so much effort, but I can.
Definitely. Okay, cool, thanks. So, before we get started with the main episode, I would like to give a quick shout out to all of our patrons for their continued support to make this episode possible. Thank you so much, guys. We love you.
Cheers, peeps.
If you're thinking about joining our Patreon or just want to know what kind of rewards the patrons get, head over to patreon.com/Halo Podcast Evolved to learn more about the exclusive rewards we offer to our patrons. Woo! Yay! That's all the housekeeping we're gonna do because we have some news because it's news season, the season of news. And some of the news is really, really good. And some of the news, we wonder why it is even considered news. So join us in this adventure of us talking about news that we may or may not give a shit about.
Nice. Good intro.
I know, I'm really hyping up the show. So I'm going to give it over to my Irish news anchors, Aaron and David. How's it going, guys?
All right. It's okay. It's been worse. It was a nice day today. It was sunny.
True.
I'm reasonably happy.
Oh.
I will go first because I will tackle the older news. Now, if you're listening to this live, you haven't heard it discussed yet. But if you're listening to this in the podcast version, this was covered in last week's show, which we covered with the Discord mods. So we had Rai, DeSudo, and Matt. They joined me on the show because the rest of you jerks wanted to celebrate Father's Day.
Yeah, I got kind of roped into, being part of a family and shit. Ugh, fuck, I hate that.
They do that sometimes, don't they?
They're like, oh,
family.
Yeah, remember we're a family and we have to do family activities? It's like, what? Really? I want to do gamer activities.
Starting to sound like a Fast and Furious movie, Krysta.
I know. I am a Fast and Furious movie.
I'm not surprised.
It's all about the family.
It's all about the family.
So we covered most of this. I think we will just go over a few of the bits and pieces that particularly stuck out. So I will call things out and people can jump in where they want. We had the E3 2021 presentation. I think we kind of dissected that pretty well in the Blue and Red Team episodes. We had the Infinite multiplayer reveal blog, and we also had the Infinite multiplayer Vidoc, which was pretty similar to the reveal blog. They kind of covered a lot of the same stuff.
The Vidoc made me wonder why that wasn't at E3. I mean, it was really cool. I wish it was at the presentation.
I wonder, were they afraid of having a show that went on too long? That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't think anyone would complain about having a Microsoft Bethesda show that goes over, an hour 30. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. I mean, Bethesda shows on their own were 45 minutes, and Microsoft's always done a 90-minute show, so...
Yeah, but I kind of wonder, is it a little too in the weeds for, what they want for the E3 presentation? Although to have nothing of any great detail was a bit weird also, so, I don't know. Yeah. It was a strange choice.
I think they really wanted to do a joint presentation with Bethesda and Microsoft, which I think was very beneficial, but also very unbeneficial, because they really had to cram in a lot of content into that 90 minutes. And if they decided to do two separate shows, we might have gotten more in-depth looks at some of the games on both ends of the spectrum. But
I'm glad it was one show, though. I thought it was 90 minutes of fun. To be honest, I really enjoyed it.
It was really cool to see Todd Howard open the show. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, they did good stuff with it. I did like the multiplayer. The reveal in the Vidoc gave us a lot of bits and pieces. It was nice to see some more in-depth stuff than just the trailer. I don't think there's anything we need to particularly call out, is there?
No, I don't think so. We've done it enough.
Yeah, I think we have at this point. We got the Mark 7 cosplay guide. That is 100 pages long. Me and the guys went through it page by page.
God.
You did not.
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, we did. The podcast episode is 5.5 hours long.
Whoa, wow. Damn, I hope you paid them overtime.
Yeah.
What's overtime for zero?
We'll figure it out.
I'll give you a clue. It's not anything. No, we absolutely did not. I looked at the link to the cosplay guide and went, we're just going to note that this is 100 pages and we're going to pretend it doesn't exist. And that was it. The next one we talked about.
To actually talk to someone who makes cosplays and armor and stuff like that to see their take on it, but none of us really have any experience making.
I'm sure the cosplay
costumes.
people fucking love having that.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's probably the best sort of information you ever get when you want to make suits.
Like
Krysta, you're on TikTok.
I've never heard of like a company officially giving out like cosplay information. That's pretty cool.
A lot of companies are starting to do that. I think companies are starting to see I think Overwatch, I think Blizzard does a lot of that with World of Warcraft and stuff. Companies are starting to see the benefits of professional cosplayers cosplaying their characters at events and stuff like that. So, they're more open with some of the costume details and stuff like that. One of my favorite, like, little quips about, like, Rooster Teeth series Ruby is that they designed every single character's outfit with pockets so that cosplayers would have pockets. It's really funny. I love it.
That's pretty fucking cool. That's taking it to the next level. Well done.
I know.
Yeah, pockets are very good.
I like pockets.
As pointed out in the chat, the 405th have a Discord. We could go over and, like, knock on the door.
Extend the olive branch.
Like, hi guys, want to come and talk about costumes?
Who's gonna make me my costume?
We don't know anything
Come
about
on.
them. The next one we talked about, this one was a little bit something else. The Season 7 trailer for the Master Chief Collection, Elite. Did you guys see this, like, 1 minute, 20-second trailer with the really questionable voice acting?
I did not.
No, I
I
haven't.
did not see this.
I want to see this.
I would highly if you want to click on the link and listen to it, I will edit this bit out of the show and then we will get reactions. Have a listen to it. Just give it a go there. Oh, okay. So if you've joined us, I'm going to link this trailer in the show notes so you can click on it. The guys have just listened to it. Guys, what did you think of the voice acting in the Season 7 Elite trailer?
Wow.
That's pretty fucking terrible. What a bad trailer. My God.
Oh, the dialogue's kind of janky.
Like, we were talking about this. We basically said, I get it. It's like a very short trailer. It's just for a season of the Master Chief Collection. No one's going to remember it about 20 minutes after the season starts. And COVID and all the rest. But my God.
I mean, they could have gotten people from the community to do a better job.
Definitely.
I don't know. To me, the Elite sounds like...
Oh, the filter's really bad. The filter's so bad. They should have gotten
the filter-
an
it's like they're-
actual deep voice.
Yeah, but it sounds like there isn't a filter and it's a guy doing it with his voice. Like, I am an elite, so I will talk like this. It's really bad.
To me, it kind of sounded like Kevin...
angry for satires.
It sounded kind of like Home Alone with the talk boy when you just play it back slower for the deeper voice.
Yes, yeah, that's a good call.
It's a strange thing. Like, I get it. Someone probably had to record that in their wardrobe, surrounded by coats to make up a fake sound booth because, you know, they're working from home and all that. But still, that's the best.
I don't think that's the
anyway.
best. I think that was just a quick thing they put together, which is fine, but, you know.
Yeah.
Not everything they do is
it's
going
a
to be
little
perfect.
bit weird.
Like I said, if they got the community involved, the community might have been able to whip something up that was a little better, but it's whatever. It was just a small trailer. They're trying to do something, but they didn't do anything.
It was bizarre. But anyway, moving on from that. The last thing that we covered last week in the news was they did an Xbox extended E3 showcase. That
yeah.
was, like an hour and a half as well. I personally thought it all felt a little bit stiff and weird.
I thought it was fine.
But that was just me.
It might have just... The problem with some of these shows is it's very corporate trying to seem hip, right? So a lot of the staging and a lot of the wording is still very corporate wording, and it just doesn't flow well. I thought the guy who hosted was doing a good job.
Yeah, I liked him.
Obviously, like I said, it's. I think companies need to start getting away from the kind of corporate feel to some of these events, but
Yeah, I think a little less overproduced maybe or something, but...
Well, that guy is a community member. Like, he is just a podcaster.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So, that...
Paris...
Paris Lily.
I forget what his surname is. Yes, he does Gamertag Radio, I think.
Yeah,
and
he's on kind of funny
seems
stuff
to be,
as well.
Yeah, and I think he's been on IGN a few times. He seems to have been doing the rounds this last while.
what they really need is someone like me that's completely insane, and I think that would make a very entertaining show.
You're not wrong.
God, no.
You're not wrong. It would be entertaining, for sure.
My show would
You'd never
be
get another job
very
again, but it
entertaining.
would be entertaining.
No, but it would be so funny. It'd be so funny.
Do you know who I kind of miss as like a presenter, because he hasn't done a lot of stuff lately? I kind of miss Major Nelson. He had the right balance of like, he has this like chat show host persona that just like hits the right balance of cheesy but chatty that I don't think they've really got with anyone else lately. Like, the guy that did the show was fine, but
he's also kind of like your video game dad, right? He's got a very like kind of dad look and a dad personality. It is just like, hey, it's kind of just super wholesome. I love it. I love Major Nelson.
yeah, I like him. He has this, like, fine rightly, he's never going to like even slightly veer from the company line. He is corporate policy personified. But he manages to like make it feel
real,
kind of natural. Yeah. Like when you listen to his podcast, granted, the most like real the podcast ever got was when they used to talk about barbecues.
Oh my
and then
God,
they were told they weren't allowed to talk about barbecues anymore.
Yeah,
and
that
I was like,
when E was on the podcast, though. E was great.
I do appreciate that
I miss E too.
I do appreciate that they talk about like Nintendo Switch all the time, and they talk about PlayStation games. They talk about shit they play. So I do find that surprising sometimes that they will talk about that.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that sort of thing. All right, that was kind of all of the last stuff. Like I said, if you're listening to this live, the episode will be out on Wednesday that covered all of that in detail. And if you're listening to this on the podcast feed, that episode was the previous one. Next up, we have the couple of bits of news that come out this month. So, first thing we're going to talk about, because we're going to skip over a lot of the details in it, is the Inside Infinite for June 2021.
The one that one of our guys read and literally said, "Don't bother reading."
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I kind of get it if you're into things like app and website development and you want to hear the process behind it, but I didn't need a section on how we come up with the new Waypoint logo, among other things. It's a bit too in the weeds for me. So we have a couple of things I've pulled out that we can talk about. We've got the 4 pillars of the live service that the Halo team are going to be working for, or toward. So we've got healthy engagement as paramount. We maintain a player-first focus, provide unambiguous value, always be listening, learning, and experimenting. And they basically said these are the 4 sort of like touch points for future events, DLC, blah, blah, blah. And if things don't hit on these, they'll either rework them or pull them and start again.
Okay, fair enough.
So, pretty corporate. Yeah, this is what we're doing. They're going to be working on a quarterly season model, so 4 a year, which isn't too bad. But they did make a point of specifying that bug fixes, hot fixes, and all that shit will not be dependent on the quarterly model, and you will get those as soon as they're ready and needed.
Makes sense.
Perfect.
That's pretty good.
So we won't be waiting 3 months for the Master Chief Collection fixes or anything. Right, they talked a little bit about events and the Battle Pass and stuff. We already know that the Battle Pass is using the Master Chief Collection model, so they don't expire. You pay for it, you have it forever. You can sink your points into any Battle Pass that you have, which I personally am a fan of because I don't know how much I'm going to play or when.
Agreed.
So that's good. But yeah, they also teased a new event. So they mentioned specifically an event type called Fracture. So they said that the Battle Pass and the other main vectors will supply canon customization options, but the Fracture events and some other events will at times lean into things further afield, like the Yoroi?
Just say samurai. It's okay. People know it.
Samurai armor. The samurai armor that was revealed in the trailer, so that is not strictly canon like other things, so the more fantastical armor will be coming in the Fracture events.
I like that.
So I'm curious to see.
Yeah, me too.
I like
wonder-
that. I think it lends itself to have some, third party or, other video games armor. Like, could you imagine, like, the Daedric armor from Skyrim? Or, Gears of War armor or something like that. It kind of lends itself to
this
that.
is
It's good. It means that they're not like restricting themselves to just canon Halo armor types, of which there's already a billion. But even then, like they're all, let's say, of a similar style.
yeah.
I want
it's cool.
Minecraft armor.
Probably.
The obvious
Super
one
blocky.
that I think, the obvious one that calls out to me is the Doom armor.
Oh yes, everyone would die if that happened.
That'd be pretty
There'd be
dope.
so
That's-
many dead people.
That's
Out
pretty
of
cool.
Like,
not
I think-
because they died of anything horrible. They were just super excited.
Yeah, I think like Doom inspired armor. I'm thinking like maybe Fallout inspired power armor. Like you said, something like Daedric armor out of, like, they can go through all of their franchises and they can go through third party stuff as well and be like, we want to do
Yeah.
well, like, I like this idea that we will just get one of these every now and again and be like, hey, we've teamed up with I don't know,
Search somebody.
anyone?
Yeah.
We've teamed up
And
with
we've made this
Blizzard,
piece of armor.
and now we have Blizzard armor.
We've teamed up with Mountain Dew and Doritos and we now have Dorito armor.
We've teamed up with Taco Bell, and now we have Taco Bell armor. I would die for Taco Bell armor.
Is that just a suit made of poop?
Oh,
Hot no.
diggity.
How dare you? The poop comes after you wear the suit, of course.
Fair enough. So yeah, that'll be a thing that they've teased. So I'm looking forward to that to see what it is.
I want
We get the
Starbucks
samurai armor. That's just a mermaid suit, isn't it?
Basic bitch Starbucks armor. I don't know. I don't know what that would be, but I think it'd be funny.
But I think we're definitely onto a winner with the idea that the Doom armor will be.
Oh, definitely. And it's
Like,
there'll be
it seems
some
like an
Bethesda
obvious
link
choice.
There's going to be for sure.
Oh, there's so many Bethesda franchises that would lend themselves really well to
yeah.
putting their armors in Halo.
So we will have to wait and see what those are down the line. Let's see, what do we got next? There will also be a number of giveaway days where you can log in to claim specific rewards. So that's just back to the old thing of, log in this week, claim your reward, go on again, just to keep people in the game and about.
Okay,
So-
cool.
I'd imagine there'll be smaller things, but we will see. The next point I made here was details given about the Waypoint app and website design. A little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. I pulled 1 or 2 points out here that I thought were worth a mention, but there's a lot. So if you really want to get stuck into it, go and give it a read, but it's probably nothing we're going to discuss here. They want to give players the ability to manage the look and feel of their Spartans and equipment, manage their Battle Pass progress, and launch consumable items on the fly. Those are just a few of the ways they're extending gameplay into the experience. So pretty much, like we said before the show, the Destiny app.
Yeah.
like
Which is
that.
cool. Like, I'm excited to see this app. I don't know how much I'll use it, but anyway, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it has its uses. It depends on what. Like, the thing that it was useful for in Destiny is pulling shit out of your vault because you didn't have to go back to the tower. So, like, stuff like that's useful. I could see this being good for applying, like, power-ups and stuff like you get in Warzone, if they have something similar, where you don't have to go into the menu and you don't have to activate it and you can just launch it from the app and go.
Or even like, when you're stuck at work, a new season starts today, and you want to look through the battle pass to see if there's anything cool that you actually want to spend on. You buy the battle pass on your phone, it downloads to your Xbox, and then when you come home, you're ready to go. Yeah,
that sounds like there's things they can do with it, so we'll have to wait and see. What was the other one they mentioned here? Item Inspect, which is interconnected across multiple features of the app, such as progression, customization, and store, is one of the ways I can do so. From the screen, I can favorite an item, learn how to acquire it, and then when I'm able to log in some game time, I have a plan to reach the collectible goals. So that kind of thing is cool. Probably useful. Where
yeah, like
you're gonna tell me about a helmet or something. I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'll put this on my list. And then the next time I jump in, I'll just go and do that.
Yeah.
So I can see that having its uses. They also they mentioned like favorite things for the new site going forward, and one of them mentioned stats, particularly redacted and redacted.
Oh, people love their stats, yeah.
They do. I kind of love my stats as well.
Got some good stats.
So there was a lot more to it than that, but it was a lot of real in the weeds stuff about the website design and about the new waypoint experience and their goals and that. But basically, I think the thing to keep in mind is if you've used the app for Destiny 2, you have a rough idea what you're going to get.
Cool. Very cool.
David, do you want to take us through the next one?
Sure, no problem. So we also have some canon fodder. So there's been two since our last show, but one was already kind of covered. That was the one that came right after E3. So another one came out called Parallel Threads, canon fodder 116. So we know we're getting a good one next month. I say the next canon fodder is going to be a goodie. Halo: The Rubicon Protocol was announced. Hell fucking yeah! This is the next book by Kelly Gay. It is really fucking exciting. She's taken a kind of a little bit of a side story kind of thing. So she's going back to Installation 07, but it's a very different mission, they've said, with a different cast of characters, which is very interesting. So the artwork for the cover for the book was kind of released. It looks dope. It's Installation 07. It looks all kind of fucked up. There's some Spartans with cool armors. It sounds cool. It sounds like she's going to be bringing in some new characters, and it specifically takes place in the 6 months before Infinite starts, which is kind of cool. So we're going to get some kind of prequel story information of how like humanity is fighting while being like their asses being kicked by the Banished and stuff. It sounds pretty cool. I can't wait for this. Hell yeah, new Kelly Gay book.
Every book announcement is so much fun because someone reads it and just blows up our chats. It's so great. It's like, guys, new Halo book. And we're all like, what?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It sounds interesting. We mentioned before the show, it very much sounds like this will give personality to the voices that we will be hearing in the audio collectibles that we're no doubt going to be running around collecting. I think Jeff teased it before. So, like, I imagine there's going to be characters with backstory here that we will pick up and, like, follow their story as we go.
And, of course, like, thinking about when this book is being released, I think it's going to be at a time where most people have played the campaign through once, and then we read this book, and then we go and play through the campaign again to get more context to it. For sure. Which I think is really smart. It keeps people playing the game.
So it's March of definitely next year, so there's plenty of time between the launch of Halo and this book. I know, it's pretty dope. Aaron, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I was only going to say it's nice to see that they're not making the mistakes of Halo 5, and we will not need to read this book before the game comes out, and we will not need to tell people about it. Like, it's a very deliberate choice that it's out after launch, and it will be something we catch up on later.
Yeah. Well, it's to avoid a Halo 4 kind of situation.
Yeah, true.
And to of course, like, avoid a Halo 5 situation where there wasn't any lore tying directly into the game. So they're trying to balance. It looks like we're probably going to be getting 2 Halo books a year from now on, since we're getting 2 this year, and it looks like we're probably going to get 2 next year.
Yeah, they just need to give Kelly and Troy permanent jobs at this stage. Come on, like, what are they messing with?
Yeah, I'm all right with getting 2 books a year. That's not too bad. The only thing I'm kind of hoping is that maybe once the game's out, they might step up the pace a little bit more, because we were getting quite a few books for a while there, and I got a little bit spoiled.
Yeah, I think we're
having multiple titles a year.
We're probably due some more comics. Do you know what I mean? Some short stories and stuff like that.
Oh no, David, no.
I know we're due.
Oh,
Not another escalation.
There's some good comics in there. Some good ones. We'll see.
There were some, but there was also the violin issue.
We don't talk about that. Anyway, there is also a whole bunch of helmets and armor lore that Jeff dropped in. They talked about their Mark 7 helmet Keystone that's in Halo 4 and the Master Chief Collection. You can get that for free on the exchange. Go check it out if you like. It looks pretty cool. Then there was like all the kind of images and pictures that we've seen before, as well as just they're announcing bringing some of the older helmets and armor types into Infinite and what they look like. There's some really nice pictures and some lore background for you there. I did like that they had George's Grenadier armor. I like that armor a lot from Halo Reach, so I think that's pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy to see that in the game. And the Nubis and the other marks. There's like a Zeta, there's like a Mark something Zeta one. It's pretty fucking cool. I really like it.
Haven't they said before now, I think we covered it at some point, but like the first season is Reach themed, so I assume we're going to see all of those. Did they say that?
For Infinite? I didn't think they announced their season stuff for Infinite yet.
You won't.
I thought there was a theme mentioned.
It's been a rumor.
So much
I think
stuff
it's
lately.
been rumored on Twitter and stuff. I'm not sure if it hasn't been announced by 343, but that's the
I
rumor
don't think
going
so.
around.
Yeah.
But I think Reach lends itself because Reach the game has so many armor customization assets that are already there. That's what they did.
They talked about the armor customization being like Reach. I think they talked a lot about Reach in that context of saying all of our armor. If you like the armor customization,
hang on.
You get it.
Here we go. Here, Halo Infinite Season 1, Heroes of Reach.
Oh, okay. I'm full of shit. Nice. Well done.
That is why the armors in the image that came with the E3 thing has the Reach armors in it.
Do you think they did that so that they could reuse the existing Reach assets and just port them into Halo Infinite to make it a little bit easier for them on the first season?
I think they did it to give the people that want their fix of old school Halo armor a big fix. They just were like, look, a lot of people insist that Reach was like peak armor design for Halo, and they've said this is going to be Reach sort of like levels of customization. So I think it was the obvious answer to go, we put this stuff in the Master Chief Collection, we have the models, let's bung it in and keep everyone happy, because no one was upset about the Reach armors coming to Master Chief Collection.
Okay.
That's my theory anyway.
I'll allow it. What else have we got? There's not too much else in here, to be honest. It's pretty short and sweet. The book is the major story. There was a little bit of drop mention of the next book that is coming. So it's already announced Halo Divine Wind. October 19th is Troy Denning's next book. So they kind of gave us the full blurb, which I'll read out for you so you get the context of what this book is about. So remember, this is coming before Halo Infinite drops. So we have October 2559, which is the date of the book. With the galaxy in the suffocating grip of a renegade artificial intelligence, another perilous threat has quietly emerged in the shadows, the keepers of the one freedom. A fanatical and merciless covenant splinter group has made its way beyond the borders of the galaxy to the ancient forwarder installation known as the Ark. Led by the infamous brute named Castor, the Keepers intend to achieve what the Covenant and all its might failed to do activate Halo, and take the last steps on the path to the great journey into transcendence. So, but unknown to Castor and his new unexpected ally on the Ark, there are traitors to the cause in their midst, namely the Ferrets, composed of the Office Naval Intelligence Operative Veda Lopez and her young team of Spartan 3s, who have been infiltrating the Keepers to lay the groundwork for Castor's assassination, but only feel operations now splintered and cut off by the Guardian threat. Veda's original mission has suddenly and dramatically escalated in scope. Welcome to a Halo novel, guys. There's simply no choice or fallback plan. Enter the Ferrets. Somehow have to stop the Keepers of the Galaxy face extinction level event. This is dope. Everything about this is dope. I want this in my life immediately. It's all of Troy's characters. It feels like his originals coming to a head. I love that they've gone to the Ark. I love of the spoilers that kind of happened at the end of his last book and kind of the Shadows of Reach. What kind of happened there with these characters is really, really cool. It was teased really well. The setup is beautiful. I can't wait for this. There's definitely going to be strong overlap between this and the Halo Wars canon. So yeah. I'm loving this.
I very much hope that we get Jerome and Red Team featured in this. They need to team up. This needs to become a group effort. Oh. I need Red Team filled out a bit more. Like Jerome and Isabel are a great pair up that are, I personally think, as good as Chief and Cortana.
I would argue that
we've seen of them,
because I like that Isabel isn't a combat AI and they're just having to deal with the best they have at the moment. I think that's pretty cool. There's such a fun premise there. They're wonderful characters, so yeah, for sure. I'd love to see them in a book. Krysta, anything you would like to mention here?
Books are good, and I love books, and I'm excited for this book, and I'm gonna read it.
Books and books and more books, says Krysta.
Books and books and more books. I love to see anything from Troy Denning and Kelly Gay. They're both really great. I love all of their characters, and I don't know. I mean, good shit. There's always good shit when you get a book from them because they have such a slew of interesting shit going on in their books. So
true. I love it when they write about the original characters. So it's interesting to see Kelly bringing new characters in and Troy returning back to his classics. And hopefully bringing in, bringing in the Halo Wars. So, I love that. We haven't had a Halo Wars novel with the Spirit of Fire, so I think that needs to come back to the main. And I love the way there's seems to be two major theaters of war in the Halo universe, and this was totally separate over by itself, but it's got a little bit of overlap because of where the last story ended. That's great. We won't talk anymore on this, but
you know what
I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Do you know what this means for Halo Wars 3?
It's not happening.
Ferrets is a leader power.
Ooh. Yes!
Or as a little unit.
There you go.
Like ODSTs.
Yep.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. You release them as a special hero unit.
Just pop up. That'd be dope. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. And then they go off their meds and that's their aggro attack.
Oh my god.
That'd be cool. Then they have a cooldown where they have to go get treated and get the steroids.
They gotta get
there you go.
up.
See,
flushed
perfect.
out of their system. Cool.
Is that us?
That's
on this
it.
One?
There was a really cool picture of the samurai armor. That was pretty much it for the cannon fodder.
Fair enough. We have one last thing to talk about. So this news originally came out and had everyone panicking because the original version of this that I saw was a screenshot of an IGN post, and the IGN post was a little bit clicky-baity with what was actually said. Yes. They very much just said Halo Infinite is losing, or the Halo TV show is losing another showrunner, and that was it. And it was no link to an article, no context. Ian supplied us with an article linked to Variety. So what it actually is that the showrunner will exit at the end of season 1 on the assumption that if it is picked up for season 2, they are gone. And the reason makes perfect sense because when you actually go into the article, what it explains is that the show has dragged on because of COVID. The showrunner has been working in Budapest for 2 years now.
And he wants to go home. They want
to go home for personal... Yes, he wants to go home. It very much sounded like there were family reasons. He wants to go home. And if they pick it up for a season 2, they will get a new showrunner, which makes sense because the other showrunner I believe, left earlier for similar reasons, where it was going on a long time. They couldn't commit the time to it anymore, and they also had to go. So, like, it just, I think Oren also talked about it with us and said that this isn't the craziest thing in the world because showrunners leaving between seasons is sort of normal. And it's not that strange or weird.
Yeah, Oren is telling us not to panic, everybody, so we all have to trust Oren.
Everybody and if Oren's wrong, then we riot.
We know what to do, exactly.
Yeah, so it didn't seem quite as scary as it did at the time when it first came out. I think a lot of people have very much gone, oh, this show is doomed, it's never coming out. But I've seen a lot of screenshots. Have you guys seen any of these like leaked screenshots?
No, I don't want to.
I have.
That's
I've
all right.
seen them on like Twitter and stuff, but like I've seen Truth. I've seen the Prophet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll not mention. Do you want me to tell you the screenshot, David? I have no confirmation of what it is.
You can tell me.
It looks like the rubble. It looks like the rubble.
The rubble.
You know the asteroid,
yes,
like colony linked by the tubes. It looks.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, it looks like that.
Ooh.
It's these series of asteroids linked by tubes floating around a planet in the background. I've no other context than that. There's some just screenshots of Chief in his armor and a couple of what I think look like blue team in some sort of cave. But the rubble one caught me. I was like, ooh, what is this? Is it the rubble? Is it something else? I don't know. It would be interesting if they retold that story with blue team instead of grey team, but we'll see. Hopefully we get this show next year. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, it's been a long time since it was announced.
It has, what was that, 2013?
Something like that. It was around Halo 4 time.
Almost half the lifetime of Halo now.
That's crazy.
Funny, I got back to watching American Gods and I had forgotten once again that everyone's favourite drunken, angry leprechaun is Master Chief. And I'm watching that show while he's drinking and swearing, and I'm just like, you're going to make a beautiful Master Chief.
That's Master Chief. Wow.
He looks good. He looks good in the shots I've seen before.
Oh, he really does. He had his shirt off in like one scene in American Gods, and you're like, you are ripped as fuck. He's just giant.
Down,
He's
Krysta,
just an
down.
absolute beast of a man. Yeah, Krysta, it's okay. I saw him first, Krysta. Back off.
Fine. I'll take someone else. I don't know.
That's cultural appropriation if you take the leprechaun.
Is it? How
it
am I
is.
supposed
That's
to get
how that
my Lucky
works.
Charms?
With diabetes like everyone else.
Perfect.
Hello, Podcast Evolved audience, and welcome to Inside HCS, your monthly recap of all things Halo esports, presented by us, none other than HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. For this segment, we'll be recapping the HCS news and competition for the month of June, so let's get right into it.
As always, we'll start off with what is the HCS. For this segment, we always want to open with what exactly the HCS is. The HCS, or Halo Championship Series, is the umbrella in which all Halo competition lives under. As of right now, the official tournaments are on a short hiatus until the release of Halo Infinite. This means that the community continues to do what it does best, put the scene on its back and put on some amazing tournaments for folks to compete in while we all wait patiently for the release of Infinite. For all major announcements from the HCS team over at 343 Industries, please make sure to follow their Twitter account at HCS. Hey Josh, we finally got to see something we've been waiting for since Infinite's announcement. Do you happen to know what that might be?
Well, Will, the month of June brought with it our very first look at Halo Infinite's multiplayer, and boy, oh boy, it was something special to behold. After plenty of deep dives and breakdowns, there's a lot to take in. Sprinting with the flag? New weapons? Banking overshield and active camo? Using a primary weapon while holding the flag? Grenade hit markers? Vehicles on 4v4 maps? The list goes on and on. We just have to get our hands on it. If you want to listen to our breakdowns of what we saw, along with further speculations, please listen to the following content. Podcast Evolved E3 2021 post-show for the Blue Team stream, because we were on it, and HCS Pro Talk episodes 187, 188, and 189. Will, what is one thing about Halo Infinite's multiplayer that has you the most excited to dive in?
Honestly, it's the customization. I just love the idea of being my own Spartan finally.
That's a great one. Mine would have to be the brutality of the melee and the gunshots, along with the overall sound of the guns themselves. There will, of course, be so much more to see and experience, but for now, we have some HCS news to get into. Each month, alongside the Inside Infinite blog post, Tashi of the HCS team releases a blog post containing information regarding a segment of the Halo esports ecosystem. The month of June brought the discussion to teams and how they'll be further incorporated within the entire HCS ecosystem. The highlights from this month's article include bringing teams into HCS discussions much more early on within the process, keeping Infinite Esports an open format and ecosystem, official HCS partnership program for teams to apply, and team skins coming day one for Infinite's launch. There's so much more to dive into within this article, so please make sure to head over to Halo Waypoint and check out the latest article for more information. With that, Will, would you mind running through the community highlights that took place over the last month?
Yes, let's start with DJ Blue PDX Griffball Summer Series. This was for Halo 3. The original, the tried and true Griffball in its purest form. The third and last Griffball Summer Series event has concluded, and with it we have a Halo 3 championship team in the name of BOGO Margs. Gotta love those BOGO Margs.
Gotta get them while they're hot.
Next up, Blue Team Tournaments Rainbow Road Halo 2 FFA Championship. Is it King Nick again? Because, he's been kind of doing that a lot. Please tell me it's not. And finally, we have a new Halo 2 FFA Championship winner in Gunshot. Gunshot punches his ticket to the Halo Infinite Grand Final FFA Championship and a nice $400 for his troubles. Next up, the Esports Arena Halo 5 4v4. The Esports Arena Halo 5 4v4s have officially come to a close, which means we will have the winners of what is the final event. A dozen deviled eggs. Not sure about that team name, but with the powerhouse squad of Saiyan, Pistola, Penguin, and Trippy, they take home $600 prize pool and the bragging rights for Halo Esports Arena Championship. Last but not least, we did have GT Halo's Grassroots Cup. The community standout favorite has returned, this time with more pro players, content creators, streamers, and 343 staff members. In a Halo 5 tournament featuring game types both the HCS and minigame variety. This tournament had it all. Luckily, Josh was not part of this event, so he wouldn't have to drag down a potential team. Instead, it was his former teammate in Team Saiyan, Hines, Echidna, and Crossman taking home the win. Josh, we had some amazing events to watch over the last month, but let the folks know what the community has cooking up for the month of July.
Looking ahead, the Blue Team Tournament's Rainbow Road FFA for Halo 2 Anniversary. The Rainbow Road continues on, this time making a stop with Halo 2 Anniversary. Remember, the winner of the championship of each game punches their ticket to the main event, an FFA championship within Halo Infinite once the game releases. The dates for the Halo 2 Anniversary tournaments are as follows. The first qualifier takes place on July 11th, the second qualifier on July 18th, and the championship at the end of the month on July 25th. DJ Blue PDX's Griffball Summer Series presented by DreamHack and powered by Play Griffball. The fourth and final Griffball event in this summer series has been announced and will feature Halo 4. Full teams and individual players are able to sign up for their chance to compete in what is going to be a bomb-throwing good time. This event is scheduled to take place on Saturday, July 24th, so it's time to send this summer series out with a bang, huh? Forge Hub and Podtacular Fiesta Frenzy Forge Contest. Forge, meet Fiesta. Fiesta, meet Forge. In an awesome collaboration between Forge Hub and Podtacular, we get this crazy Halo 5 event. First comes the map building contest, where the top maps have the chance of being included within the Podtacular Fiesta Frenzy tournament, scheduled to happen sometime after the judging of the maps. This one is going to be just a little crazy. And finally, the FanFest Halo 3 tournament. Remember Halo 3? Of course you do! Well, so is Xbox, believe it or not. With FanFest making its return, it also brings with it a Halo 3 2v2 series. 2 days of open matchmaking ladders each Friday and Saturday for points. Weekly qualifiers every Sunday and a double elimination bracket with the top 8 teams for Friday and Saturday each. And a series finale on July 31st in a double elimination bracket featuring the top 16 teams for the month. That is what we got to look forward to within the month of July. Some old, some new, some crazy, and all things explosions. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Inside HCS for June. If you're interested in finding out more about these tournaments or anything else in the competitive Halo space, please check out HCS Pro Talk on all the socials, YouTube, Twitch, and anywhere you happen to find your podcasts. Personally, I'm a fan of Pocket Casts myself. Podcast Evolve crew, take it away.
Right, Krysta, I think that's us. You can lead us out of this
All right.
magnificent live show.
Done? What? All right, so we've gone through all of the Halo news that we have so far that is relevant. Of course, if you are interested in reading further on any of these articles, go ahead and go to Halo Waypoint and check them out and read more in detail. But thank you for listening. Join us next week for our next Halo Headlines episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode and are unaware, please check out our awesome website, halopodcastevolved.com. It features our episode library for all of the following shows: Podcast Evolved, which is this show, Mission Debrief, Halo Book Club, and Builds with Blocks. And also we have partnered with our guys at HCS Pro Talk, so go ahead and check them out as well if you want to learn more about, people who actually know about the gameplay in Halo, because we don't know that. we're the book nerds.
Multiplayer stuff.
We know good at the multiplayer.
Yeah, we're the book nerds, and they're like the jocks. So go check them out if you want more interesting multiplayer deep dives. Once again, another special shout out to all of our patrons for supporting this episode and making all of this possible. Head to patreon.com/HaloPodcastEvolved to learn more. And with that, I have been your host, Krysta. And until next time, evolved!
Evolved.
Evolved.
God, you guys,
Sorry,
you guys waited way too long. What the hell?